welcome to Hashimoto's Unfiltered, real talk, real solutions. The podcast where we cut through the noise and get straight to the heart of living with Hashimoto's. My name is Dr. Ray Benedetto, your host, and I'm here to share my expertise, personal insights, and from time to time, conversations with incredible guests to help you take control of your health. Together, we'll explore actionable items, debunk myths, and navigate the complexities of your thyroid health. So whether you're newly diagnosed or a seasoned warrior, this is your space for unfiltered truth and real hope. Let's dive in. Real quick, there's two things I want to address. I want to address foods in a sec because it was a great question. But this was something that was literally just posted this morning. I answered it. I want to answer it here live as well for everyone to hear and to live in all of eternity on video. Okay. And the question was posted by Faye earlier this morning. She said, if Hashimoto's is the result of inflammation elsewhere, or let's expand on that and say if Hashimoto's is the result of maybe lots of things going on elsewhere, other underlying causes, right? Root causes. Why is there no effort by traditional doctors to find it? And that is a great question. And I answered it kind of in Cliff Notes version. I'm going to just expand a little bit on it today, right here. It's really twofold. Well, 2 points I want to make. Number one is they are not trained in medical school to do that. They're not trained in actually looking for, identifying, and treating the root cause of someone's disease or someone's health problems. They are not. It's unfortunate because they are doctors, but they are not trained in actually looking at the underlying causes of someone's problems and addressing them. They are trained in pharmaceuticals. So they are trained in, you have this symptom, you have this diagnosis, I give you this pill. It's a chemical cover-up. So it's treating symptoms with medications. That's it. So it's a great question to ask, Faye, and that's the answer. It's a common sense question, right? Like, if this is caused by this, why aren't we looking at this and treating this? I would agree. That's what I do. That's what doctors like me do. That's what functional medicine doctors do. Dig, look for the underlying root causes, treat that stuff, people get better. But in the traditional medical model, the allopathic model, that's not the way it works. They diagnose, they treat symptoms, they treat diagnoses with medications, chemical cover-ups. It's not going to fix anything. And wishing, wanting, expecting them to do otherwise, other than that, is only going to set any one of you up for disappointment. It's just not going to happen. So save your breath trying to get the square peg in the round hole with your doctor to get him to do what I do, because it's not going to work. They're not trained. It's not even on their radar screen. They treat symptoms and diagnoses with pills, and that's it. That's all you're ever going to get from them. Great question, Faye. I agree. That's why people get better with functional medicine. And in my world, like, we have to identify the underlying causes of their problem. I don't care what it is. And we have to treat those things. And we look at the big stuff, right? I don't care if it's type 2 diabetes. I don't care if it's Hashimoto's. There's some big picture stuff that we got to take care of. We got to take care of things like sensitivities, right? Foods. We got to take care of things like nutrient deficiencies. We got to take care of things like toxicities, right? We got to take care of fixing people's gut. And we got to take care of regulating their immune system. We got to take care of these things. Where are the imbalances in their bodies? Hormones, whatever. Yes, you have to look at all those underlying causes for that person, treat those issues as if they're going to get better. That's it. It's just not going to happen in traditional allopathic medicine. All right, I'll come down off my soapbox. Let's talk foods. I get this question a lot, right? And it was a great question yesterday when I posted the reminder about this live. And I forget who it was. I'm sorry. I should give you some credit. But you know who you are if you're watching this. And the question was, what are the foods that heal, right? And we just talked about foods. We just talked about food sensitivities, things like that. And it's a great question because, yes, that's how we want to use diet and nutrition and foods. There's always a lot of chatter with me when I have consultations with you guys and in the group and stuff like that about an AIP protocol, especially an AIP elimination protocol, right? People get nervous about it. They get intimidated by it. I get it because I have conversations with you guys, and that's what you tell me. And I see some of you who have in the group who have taken the bull by the horn and done it on your own and seen miraculous results. So yes, diet, nutrition can heal, which is what we want to do, right? We want to use food as medicine. We want to get, supplementation, things like that. We use those things as our medicine, natural medicine, to heal people and get them well. So yes, foods is a big part of that. Is it the only part of that? No, but we're going to focus today on the food part, right? Because it's an easy place to start and it can be very impactful. I mean, sometimes that's where it ends with people. It's where it starts and ends, is just cleaning up their diet, cleaning up their lifestyle. Oh, comments coming in. Sorry. Tony, I realized this. They never know what I'm talking about. Yep, the medical world, right? And Diana, yes, that was you, Diana. Yes, awesome. On AIP now. Perfect. Awesome. So thank you for chiming in. Thank you for being here. So it is huge. So just broadly speaking, typically I have like a two-pronged attack with my patients. If you get to any good functional medicine doctor, this is what they should be doing, right? So it's like, okay, we got to figure out what's causing the problem. So maybe some investigation, some testing, for example. Like I like a Dutch test. You guys have heard me talk about this. Sometimes I'll do food sensitivity testing, nutrient testing, whatever, for that individual needs. But testing, so that's investigation, right, for underlying problems. We can see a lot of this stuff on blood work. And treatment, testing and treatment. So we got to test for things. We got to treat what we find. People get to me and they've not been well for a long time and they're looking for answers and they're looking for help. So we don't want to let the grass grow under our feet, so to speak. So even if I'm running testing on someone, which I'm usually running something we have to look for, right? Even if it's food sensitivity testing, right? For example, let's use that as an example. Let's say, okay, we're going to run this test. We're going to check food sensitivities. Before that test even comes back, we're doing an AIP protocol, elimination, AIP elimination. I prefer, and then we'll get into the details of what that looks like. I love running someone through just its experience. I've just seen it do miracles for people. Putting people through an AIP elimination protocol right out of the chute for 30 days minimum. 30 days, sometimes 6 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, but 30 days. This is not a forever thing, guys. People freak out about the elimination. They're like, I don't think I'm going to be able to eat anything for the rest of my life. I'm like, no. Hold on. 30 days, right? Okay, we're doing testing. Let's do the test. Let's get it sent out. It's going to take a couple weeks to get it back anyway. Let's go right in with an AIP elimination protocol where we're going to take these foods out of the diet. We're just going to eat these foods. We're not going to eat these foods. And we're going to do a little bit of supplementation. We're going to do this for 30 days. And the reason why is it is a amazing like reboot or reset. I like to call it cleaning the slate, right? Or clearing the calculator, hitting the clear, zeroing out that calculator. People still use calculators. At least there's one on your phone. Just kind of like, boom, resetting everything. So then we have a clean slate moving forward. Because what the AIP elimination is going to do with the dietary elimination and the supplementation is going to help decrease that inflammation. It's going to help clean out anything in the diet that could be causing trouble. It's going to calm down the immune system. It's going to fix up the gut. Got to fix the gut, gang. You guys know this. We got to fix the gut. We got to start detoxifying. We got to do these things. So we got to just clean house. And then after about 30 days, right, we've gotten, let's say we're doing food sensitivity testing, we've gotten those results back. Now we can see in black and white, okay, we can try and put this thing back in, this food back in right away, or nope, this one showed up positive, we're going to keep this out for longer. It's not a forever thing. Food sensitivity testing, elimination diets, like they're a snapshot in time. Just because someone's reacting to foods now or has issues with foods now doesn't mean they're going to in 3 months, 6 months, once we can get them healed up. It's a tool, gang. It's a stepping stone. It's a tool. It's the first step, but it's a tool as part of a bigger plan. Now, what foods do we eat? The bottom line is we're eating real food. It's not super restrictive, like you can only have 10 foods, okay? Generally speaking, in AIP protocol, you're going to eat, obviously, copious amounts of fruits and vegetables, right? There are some of those even that we cut out. I typically recommend cutting out the nightshade vegetables because they contribute to leaky gut, and we're dealing with things like lectins and all that kind of stuff, which we'll get to. Nightshades are things like tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, things like that. So most of your vegetables are in play. Nightshades come out. Okay, most of your fruits are in play. What we do is we take the high glycemic fruits out. Those are the ones that are super high in sugar, pineapples and bananas and stuff like that. We're also trying to stabilize and regulate blood sugar with this protocol. So we don't want our blood sugar doing this all day long. So fruits and vegetables, nightshades come out, high glycemic fruits come out. Copious amounts of proteins, right? Your proteins are going to come primarily from animal sources. Chicken, fish, beef, pork, lamb, venison, you name it. Clean sources. We need our poultry, our chicken, our turkey to be hormone-free, antibiotic-free, pasture-raised. We want our beef to be grass-fed, no antibiotics, no hormones. We want our fish to be wild-caught and sustainable and clean, right? Clean sources. These things are not that hard to find anymore these days, even in regular grocery stores. Copious amounts of healthy fats, which are primarily going to come from your animal sources, but also from plant sources like olive oil, avocado, coconut, anything coconut's fair game. So there's a lot. So within those broad categories, there's a lot to eat. And I provide like master lists for my patients and recipes and meal plans and all this kind of stuff, and my personal help, obviously. It's like, how do we take this framework and how do we implement it? How do we use it day to day? What am I eating? When am I eating? How am I structuring this and implementing this into my day? How am I eating out? How am I socializing? Like, I'm not going to be a hermit for 30 days, right? And if you had to be, it would be worth it. But the important thing, any of you guys can Google it right now and find a foods to eat and a foods to avoid list. How do you apply it? Where do you even start? It's very overwhelming. I get it, which is why I just help my patients do it. And it's not forever. It's for 30 days. So we avoid pretty much everything else, right? So we're taking out things like the higher glycemic fruits. We're taking out the nightshades. We're taking out all the garbage processed foods that you guys know you shouldn't be, and we all know we shouldn't be eating anyway. We take out things like nuts and seeds. We take out things like beans and legumes. They have lectins. They cause leaky gut. People have sensitivities to them. We take out dairy. We take out eggs. We take out alcohol, obviously. I mean, all this stuff, some of this stuff's pretty self-explanatory. So we take out anything else that could be a problem. Things that give people gut issues, inflammatory foods, processed junk, foods that people can be sensitive to, all that kind of stuff. And I mean, you could just do that. You don't need to do testing and stuff, but you could just do that and then add foods in one by one. I do that a lot of times with people as well. I'm kind of morphing towards a hybrid model. And I used to just do food sensitivity testing and then no dietary changes until we get the results back, to be honest with you. I'm starting to do more of a hybrid nowadays where it's like, okay, listen, we're going to test for foods. It's inexpensive. You can do it at home nowadays. And even while we're waiting for the test results to come back, we're going to do 30 days elimination with the supplements and all this kind of stuff. We're going to do this because we're going to clear the slate. Test results are going to come back. That's going to help direct us onto like what foods can go back in right away. What has to stay out longer? Does this need to stay out a little bit longer? Does it need to stay out a lot bit longer, depending on how somebody's reacting to it? And then we can monitor their progress when we reintroduce foods anyway. So there's a process, right? So we use foods to heal, yes, by both eating the right ones and not eating the wrong ones. And then while we're going through that process, healing the body with nutrition and supplementation and things like that. And then, figuring out if they have nutrient deficiencies and detoxifying, like individualizing the care or the approach or the protocol to that person over time. So I hope that makes sense. So that is how we use foods to heal. It's not the be all end all. It is the starting point for sure. For many people, it is the be all end all. There's usually other things we have to do over time on top of just foods and healing, the body inside out. We might find a hormone imbalance or an adrenal issue or some nutrient deficiency or what have you. Cellular inflammation, we got to deal with that, right? We got to dealing with cellular damage and cellular inflammation. And again, that could be genetic. I mean, it could be lots of stuff. So we start with this broad protocol and kind of carpet bomb things in the first 30 days, 45 days, and then kind of individualize over time. I usually work with people in like 90-day spurts. So we do all that over about a 90-day period. Most of the time we get to that 90-day period and it's like, we're good. Now we just got to keep it like this. We just got to maintain, Sometimes we get there and it's like, all right, we're still cleaning a couple things up. It's going to take a little bit longer, but that's the general structure of how we can use of a game plan that I use with my patients, but how we can use foods and nutrition to heal, to get someone better, to kind of reset or reboot their body and get them well. That is root cause. That is finding the root causes of stuff, both now and over time, and treating those underlying issues to get someone well. Not just, you have this positive lab test, you have this diagnosis, you have this symptom, here's a pill. That doesn't fix anything. And it's not helping people. It doesn't help. We are getting sicker. We as a country in general are following that path, and it's leading us straight off a cliff, a healthcare crisis cliff. Sick care. It's not even healthcare, right? It's sick care. You get sick, the wheels fall off the bus, let's duct tape them back on. It's not helping. We are following the white coats right off a cliff, okay? And it's got to change. If we're going to get well, it's got to change. I'm one guy trying to do it. I'm trying to build an army of you guys to help me. But I hope that makes sense today. I hope that makes sense for you guys. I want to thank you for tuning in to Hashimoto's Unfiltered, Real Talk, Real Solutions. Again, my name is Dr. Ray Benedetto, and I hope today's episode helped to give you the tools and the insights you need to take another step forward on your Hashimoto's journey. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode if you think someone could benefit. You can also connect with me on Facebook at Dr. Ray Benedetto and on my website, drraybenedetto.com for more resources and updates. Until next time, remember, you're not alone and real solutions are always within reach. Take care and be well.